YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage back on Star Wars Empire at War. And I am actually not playing this as I speak. I'm rewatching it and commentating on it. I had some time to play it one night, and this campaign is a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. But, I mean, you all know how it is, and apparently this is a battle over Tatooine, by the way. I apologize, there is like a slight gap from where the last video left off to this one, but not much. I'm attacking the Zan consortium over Tatooine. Anyway, let me get you a little more background here. So, I tried recording an episode of this prior to this last weekend, and was unsuccessful because, I mean, it was just like a non-stop nitpicking of Zan Consortium and Empire attacking from every direction with tiny fleets at every spot, but just enough to where I couldn't stop them with my space stations. And I was like, man, is this campaign wrecked? Did I lose it? And so I vented a little bit about it in a Shogun 2 video that I made, episode 26 of the Saga campaign. Some of y'all watched that, and a viewer gave me some advice. They're like, just blitzkrieg their space stations and leave a fighter there to make sure they can't rebuild it, and then walk through with your army. Sounded like an interesting idea, so I'm here trying what he suggested. I'm just blitzing ahead in space. I don't think I end up following his advice precisely, but we'll see how it works out as far as whether I can keep this dream alive. The reason why the Zan Consortium is so hard to overcome, and I make good money on the campaign map. I'm sure people could probably make more. I don't claim to be like an optimal user in the Empire at War universe. People could do a lot better, I'm sure. But like I said, I feel like income-wise, I've actually done all right in the campaign, and I'm still just bled dry for money at the constant battle with removing corruption. Like, so it's not a big deal. I say it's not a big deal. It's not an uncommon occurrence to have to remove corruption on every galactic day on the campaign map to the tune of 5 or 6 planets. And I don't know how much it costs for the Zan Consortium to spread corruption, but it cost me 1,500 credits, whatever you call it in the end games, to remove it. And I'm making right now like 11,000 something per galactic day on there, and if I'm spending like 6,000 to 7,000 of that removing corruption, that alone right there will start to show you just one reason why people have always complained about the Zan Consortium in this game. Now, maybe not everybody did. I complain. I don't. First of all, I just don't like them because they weren't in the movies, so I don't identify with them. There's probably a group of people out there that think they're cool and they kind of add a different element to the Star Wars universe. And that's fine. I'm not complaining like they should be removed from the game, but I would have never added them to begin with. The reason why I play the Forces of Corruption, then you may be asking, why do you play the Forces of Corruption? Why don't you just play the original? It's because it has more heroes and units that make it cool. So I basically put up with the Consortium as a punishment in order to get all the other cool units and heroes and other stuff that I would have liked to have had in the original. Some of you asked me why I haven't done the mods on this game or anything, and I'm not saying I'll never do a mod on this game. I haven't played the game enough to feel like I want mods for it yet. I'm the kind of person that generally likes to play the crud out of a game, and I'll get a mod if I feel like, number one, it adds something that I don't like playing without. So like, for instance, the Rome Total War music mod for Rome 2, or the 4 turn per year mod for Rome 2. I'll play with little stuff like that, but I'm not a big fan of the total overhaul mods until I feel like I'm looking for something new in the game. Now, you don't have to be like me. If you like Total War, or if you like overhaul mods on any game, just go for it. I'm not going to stop you. Just saying, that's why I'm sometimes slow to. Now, again, it's not to say that I won't try them, clearly, because I'm doing the DEI mod with the Carthage campaign. And I've very well considered the Republic at War mod for this, or the Thrawn's Revenge that other people have recommended. They both look good. I am a little upset, though, that this game doesn't have Steam Workshop support. That would be really cool, because apparently it has some cool mods. Anyway, you can see that I was able to trash the Zan Consortium in orbit over Tatooine, and my basic strategy here was to use my fleet of capital ships to distract Zan attackers, and then you'll see that I kind of ran in with my my 2 B-Wings, because I don't have many in this fleet. And it's a problem. It's like, so you can see me just like rushing like crazy right now just to shore things up real quick. And it's because you have so very little time. Like, so say for instance this fleet attacked me really quick like that. I'm having like on average less than 10 seconds on the campaign map before I'm getting hit up in a battle. And it's making it difficult for me to manage in that short amount of time building the appropriate craft and buildings and all that other stuff. So you're going to see me utilizing the pause button a lot. The problem with the pause button is that you can use it to build buildings, which is good, but you can't issue move order with any forces or anything, and you can't swap anything around whenever you're in that mode. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I can't swap troops from a planet to orbit or anything while you're in pause mode. All that has to be done while the campaign's live. And the campaign in this game, in case some of you haven't noticed it yet, surely you have, but I'll just mention it just in case, it's real-time versus Total War where you take turns. This one's real-time, so the Zan Consortium and the Empire are doing everything while I'm doing my thing. It's very cool. It's very interesting to be playing in real-time. It's actually one of the things that I really enjoy about this game. Don't get me wrong, I love Total War turn-based campaign. A lot of fun, too. I've always loved it. But this real-time campaign kind of adds a different challenge of speed. I never have to be in a hurry against the AI on Total War because we all get equivalent amounts of time. So, anyway, it's very different on this game where the AI, they can manage 20 different planets at once and issue move orders almost simultaneously. What's funny is that even being able to do that, the AI on Total War still sucks. But actually, I always bash the AI on Total War. It's not good, but I've never seen any AIs in many other games that was a whole lot better, for that matter. This game, as an instance, too, I was hoping to see the Millennium Falcon up close, but it wouldn't zoom in on it. Some of you complained saying I need to bring the Millennium Falcon into combat, so there you go, I finally did it. It is a fun ship to use in space combat. I don't know why I haven't had it up here, I just haven't.
Come on, Chewie.
But in any case,
All right, let's get out of here.
yeah. Now I lost my train of thought. That's very typical for me to get talking and then forget something else, which is, you all wonder sometimes, like, geez, why do you always miss the mini-map and everything else? Well, obviously, as you can tell, I like to talk. I like to comment to you when I'm talking, or whenever I'm recording, and it leads to me being forgetful sometimes, and I'm somewhat forgetful to begin with. I say that, you know, there's certain things I remember better than others, so kind of just depends. Anyway, we're going to invade Tatooine here, and like I said, really my general strategy here is just to push the consortium really fast. You're going to see me taking moments like this where it's paused just to take a look at a few things. You know, playing it like this is kind of almost flustering in a way, which is funny because it's not like someone sitting here breathing down my neck while I play it. It's just, you can see where I made a mistake there and I was fixing it. I had built too many buildings. So I'm just trying to kind of shore things up and realize, okay, what do I need? What do I need where? You know, just trying to kind of get a feel for what to do next. Like I said, I probably need to be right now queuing up some ships and other stuff. I didn't. Because the problem I'm running into is as I blitz right this, I'll lose some B-Wings or I'll lose some ground troops, like in this battle, for instance, maybe some snow speeders or something, and I'm not doing a good job of replenishing and moving them into the front because I'm in such a hurry in the turn-ins. But at the same time, I'm finding myself liking this being on the attack rather than being attacked and constantly fighting like space station defenses. So I've got Garmbel Iblis. I'm gonna get these local humans on Tatooine and use them to help me capture landing zones so that I can get more reinforcement. So yeah. That's what I'm using the little humans here for. Sometimes when you go to a planet, the local population will either support you or they'll fight against you. And on Tatooine here, apparently, they like the rebellion. I'm going to bring Puke down, and then I'll bring Han and Chewie also. And then I'm just going to get a lot of snow speeders. If the AI has failed to build like anti-air turrets, snow speeders can be very helpful because you can basically use them to just screw over and defeat the AI. Now, another decent tactic that I haven't employed yet, and I need to, I just have to get the right stuff built for it, and it's not going to be easy for me in this situation. And I didn't think of it until probably near the end of this episode, but I could be building artillery.
What's on your mind?
It has very long range, and you can use it basically, you just put some forces to guard it. You park the artillery and let it destroy buildings, while your forces simply keep the enemy units from destroying your artillery. That's another angle you can take. Garmbel Iblis's tank, though, is quite helpful, and I think that while playing this, I learned that it can run over not just people, because I know some of the tanks on here can run over infantry troops, but it can also run over other vehicles while I'm in here, and I'm like, I kind of find a whole new use for it now. You'll see how I managed to do it. I'm going to put some guys up in the tank. This is something that I should have known you can do, but I never took advantage of it for a while, so I'm going to put them in there and kind of use it like a transport. So I got Han, Chewie, and Puke up in the tank with Gar. I like calling them Puke, don't ask me why, I don't know, maybe something from when we were a kid. Anyway, I fly up here and I realize that the consortium actually has mass driver turrets and all kinds of stuff that's shooting up my snow speeders, which this is bad. They've got all those Canderous assault tanks that can shoot at me, so I call in a quick bombing run and basically just bomb up a lot of that crap that was shooting at me so that I can keep my speeders relatively unharmed. And you're going to see me start walking up, or bringing a Beliblis up. And of course, the consortium has crap that shoots straight through my shields and immediately destroys a couple of the turrets. I don't know what the point is in giving you shields whenever basically every single weapon that the consortium has can kill them. Now, so actually it wasn't this battle where I figured out the little secret about running people over with Beliblis. So I basically very nearly get him killed here, but I'm just going to use my my speeders to continue the work with of killing all the consortium guys. So yeah, I'm not using Beliblis good at all. And he's, like I said, getting whipped on him, and Luke's getting killed too. Thanks for the tip. Another viewer reminded me that Luke has an ability where he can go invisible whenever he's getting beat up, so appreciate that tip. You saw me take advantage of it there to keep him alive. But I'm having to treat with Luke and Beliblis because I got them up here. I mismanaged them, didn't use them real well. So basically you're going to see me, and I'm being chased at this point too, by a lot of destroyer droids. Yeah, you can see me actually maneuvering around some, and I think it was there where I realized I could run over the droids. So you're going to see me actually do it a little bit here. You can see me clicking behind them, and kind of turning around and doing this different stuff. Yeah, so I've at this point learned that I can run over enemy tanks. Unfortunately, it's at the point where Garm Beliblis is basically dead.
Heading to destination.
Like I said, due to my mismanagement, which was pretty severe up there. But hey, you learn through mistakes, folks. That's a lot of you like to, and I don't think any of you mean it in a malicious way, but a lot of you like to scream at me for making mistakes. I actually get a kick out of it from time to time. But one thing you'll learn, if you haven't already, is as you grow and go out into the professional world, whatever it is you do, you learn from mistakes. And sometimes it takes you a long time to learn from mistakes and to get really better in the end. And sometimes you feel like you never learn from certain mistakes because you got a habit. And me, it's probably a mixture of both. Sometimes I learn, and then sometimes I got a habit. So right there I learned that Garm Beliblis can run over stuff. So you're going to see me probably using that a little bit better in coming battles. Otherwise, this is going to be a pretty straightforward mop-up operation here, with me hitting their different buildings here. The AI, and I swear, I don't know, I guess it's the same for me. If I had built the stuff on my planets, I get all these defenses, but I swear like the AI gets so many units for defense from their buildings. Like, I mean, Droidica's rolling around everywhere. These Canderous assault tanks and the MAL tanks, like the rocket pilot, that one's a Canderous assault tank there. They're annoying. They're also very OP because they can shoot straight through shields. But like I said, that's the consortium in general. Apparently the consortium has technology that just completely ignores shields, and for some reason only the criminal elements in the galaxy have access to this technology. While it would make sense that if such technology existed, would it not be in the hands of the Empire, which has all the money and research stations? Just saying. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But hey, you know, whatever. The consortium's gonna receive nothing but contempt and butt kickings from me, so I suppose it's all good. Anyway, I'm gonna run some of these upgrades I see down here because, hey, why not? Some of the stuff I still learn in this game, and I don't entirely understand it, but it doesn't matter. Beliblis is in the back licking his wounds along with Puke Skytalker. Oh, that was lame, Skytalker. That was the best I could come up with. That was the best. Hang on, let me think here. Puke is good. It's a good substitute for Luke here. Skywalker. Alright, you all come up with an insulting spin on Luke Skywalker's last name for me. And maybe I'll try and use it in a future episode. Now, I have already recorded the next episode, so if you don't see it in the next episode, don't hold it against me. So yeah, I'll check out the comments, see if you all can come up with something good. In fact, if you all ever come up with like little witty names, and maybe some of you aren't into this, I don't know, I kind of like it, you know, like even, it's not like I got a problem with Luke or something, I just, I don't know, I'm kind of that way, I'm kind of goofy, you know, I'll just come up with random stuff like that. like a Jack in the Box restaurant. For some reason I call it Jack in the Back or Jack in the Crack or whatever it is. Like I said, no apparent reason. Jack in the Box didn't wrong me in any way. I'm just a dork, and I think it's funny. So, yeah, you know, like I said, whenever I do these commentaries, y'all get to see a little bit of the inner insanity that is Air, I guess. Though I really don't think I'm much of an insane person, just a dorky one. Yeah, so last week, I apologize I didn't get you all as many videos as I wanted last week. I'm always apologizing to you, and I'm sure you're not really sitting over there holding it against me. I guess I'm just trying to be polite. What I like is being able to deliver consistency to you all. What I really aim for, and I fail because of real life, and that's the way it is, I would love to deliver to you all 2 videos every day, day by day. And I would love for like one of them to be a campaign episode, one to be some kind of multiplayer or something like that, but it never works that way just because maybe I can't find an online match or gosh dang it, I'm recording Rome 2 and it crashes or something like that. It just never seems to work out. But that's what I aim for, is consistency. You'll notice I try and upload my videos at roughly the same time every day so that you know when to find my videos and when you can expect them. And I do my best there. It's not perfect. And some of you might say, well, Aaron, why don't you just record it ahead of time and upload it? You know, it's easier said than done. Sometimes I wish I could do full-time YouTube so I could deliver the full consistency of this to you. But I just can't. YouTube is a great way for me to have a good time, to make a little money off of a hobby. I use a pretty good chunk of that money to reinvest back into the videos, so like I gotta have the right software, the right hardware. I buy the games, I buy the DLCs, I do giveaways from time to time. Obviously I like to put a little bit into my bank account as a justification to my wife of why I'm this old and still playing video games. And don't get me wrong, she actually likes that I do this. She thinks it's neat. She supports me in it, which is very, very kind of her. Mrs. Air is a very good lady. Don't really know how I was lucky enough to come across her, but she, like I said, she's a very good lady, and she gets a kick out of how you all enjoy my videos, and she obviously can tell that I like doing it, and obviously I work really hard to you know, make sure that I keep time set aside, obviously, and prioritize her over other stuff. And you know, it's a good working relationship right now. It's great. Hope you all find someone as nice as Mrs. Air that you can spend your time with. I'm pretty fortunate. So even if that person is a video game character that you just love.
Removing corruption.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and go through a quick like corruption removal run. So you're gonna see me like spend a whole bunch, and I'm like frantically moving units around and then going back into pause. Again, like you can see, I'm like paralyzed by this. So that's exactly a good example of what's gonna happen here. So while I'm trying to do this, like within 10 seconds of having the game on pause, boom, Empire attacks me at Kashyyyk. However, Kashyyyk, whatever you all want me to call it, I don't know how it's pronounced. I'm not like a Star Wars guru here. So again, you're gonna see me look around real quick. I'm kind of looking. If you look on the screen, it shows you how many buildings can remain to be built and how many. It's like the little. There's like the little space station icons and then the little turret icons. And if those are solid, then you filled that space. And if they're kind of like a little more opaque, then you can still continue to add to it. Anyway, we're going to have this space battle over Kashyyyk, and there are a lot of Imperial ships coming in. I just switched the Mon Cal cruiser to warp, or to hyperspace in first. I want to say warp. It's an old Star Trek habit, I guess. Warp, hyperspace, whatever, y'all know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, it's a mistake I should have done earlier, but again, because I'm so frantic on the unpaused version of the campaign screen, I'm missing a lot of things. But fortunately, right now, things are going very well for me. We just nailed Tatooine. We took Tatooine. So that's another planet out of the consortium hands. We've so far managed to avoid losing anything to the consortium, which this is good. If we can just beat them back and I can keep taking planets, we're going to sap their power. And here you can see me trying to get ships organized. My Mon Cal cruiser is going to be very good against Star Destroyers. Mon Cal cruisers in general are very good versus Star Destroyers. Like if it was just a head-up fight versus a bunch of, like say, Victory cruisers or something, the Mon Cal cruisers would absolutely destroy them. And it's because they have that extra shield bonus special ability. They tend to do extremely well versus Star Destroyers. However, the Empire has stuff like this, like bombers, and the Star Destroyers will spawn bombers, and they can be extremely deadly to a Mon Cal cruiser, just like my fighters can be very deadly to an Imperial. Bombers are obviously the bane of capital ships in the game. It's meant to be that way. Bombers and fighters are horrible versus corvettes, which are horrible versus frigates, which are horrible versus cruisers, which are horrible versus bombers. You know, you kind of get that swing. So anyway, you can see, like I said, my Mon Cal cruiser is just gonna rip apart these Star Destroyers. The Star Destroyers, unlike the Zan Consortium, are not ridiculously... I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some strong Star Destroyers like Captain Piet's ship and Admiral Thrawn's ship, and Vader's Super Star Destroyer is incredible. Hint, hint, there'll be a campaign after this one where we get to see some Vader and Death Star action, by the way, because I know that wasn't satisfied in the quick kind of learner campaign I did previously. But yeah, look at the Mon Cal cruisers have a nice combination of turbo lasers and ion cannons. And so they will rip through the shields of capital ships very quickly. And then that allows for them to be finished off easier. Obviously, bombers are still best at destroying capital ships, but Mon Cal cruisers are actually quite good, all things considered, versus other capital ships. And you can see the missile cruisers. I've got my own, and I just blew up an Imperial missile cruiser there. The missile cruisers are great from long range. They're pretty good versus fighters and hard points and all that other stuff, and they have great long range, but they have almost no armor. And as you can see, the Imperial missiles actually are not shield penetrating. If it was the Zan Consortium, they would be. Actually, the Zan Consortium has access to the same broadside cruisers. So yes, as the Consortium, you get your own lineup of special ships, along with being able to recruit several ships that other factions can bring as well, which makes a lot of sense. So I was going to go after this broadside cruiser with my corvettes. I decided to go ahead and do it, even though I'm going to get hammered by that Victory cruiser. Because my corvettes should be able to destroy that broadside cruiser pretty easily. The corvettes are better in kind of like close-up combat than the broadside cruiser. It's meant for fighter screens and, like I said, long-range engagements. But yeah, I mean, you can tell this fight is not going well for the Empire. My Mon Cal cruisers are absolutely shredding all the Victory cruisers. I don't know how the Mon Cal cruisers stack up against like the standard Imperial Star Destroyer. It'd be a good question. We may find out if I keep fighting this. If anybody knows, you can leave a comment. But yeah, I don't know who wins that in a head-to-head fight, whether a Mon Cal cruiser or the Imperial Star Destroyer wins. So, good question though. But I know versus these Victory cruisers, it's a no-brainer. The Mon Cal cruiser is going to absolutely destroy it. And 2 or 3 Mon Cal cruisers in a single battle group is going to be pretty difficult for anything save Vader's flagship to overcome. Now, again, that said, it might be a pretty tough fight between like Thrawn, Piet, and maybe another Imperial Star Destroyer versus 3 Mon Cal cruisers. I don't know. We'd have to look at that. But Vader's Super Star Destroyer is amazing. It's really good. And it's very hard to kill, mainly because it just has 1 trillion hard points, and it just vaporizes capital ships really well. Not instantly, but it does it really well because it has so many ion cannons and turbo lasers. Here you can see me trying to use my corvettes to get the TIE bombers. The TIE bombers, as you can see, are quickly knocking out turbo laser batteries on my Mon Cal cruisers, and that's dangerous for me. The Mon Cal cruisers have a nice split of ion cannons and turbo lasers. And if they destroy your turbo lasers, it means that it's going to take longer for you to actually... The ion cannons don't damage an enemy ship's hull. Only the turbo lasers do that. So if you lose a lot of turbo lasers, it can be pretty bad. But I mean, you can see my corvettes are doing a pretty good job of cleaning up fighter cover. The problem is as the corvettes move in to take out fighter cover, the Imperial cruisers will target the corvettes just because they're the closest target. And the corvettes die pretty easy to Imperial cruisers, so you're going to see me losing corvettes as we move in. But like I said, for now they're doing a great job of screening off the fighters, while my Mon Cal cruisers just hammer all the Star Destroyers.
Keep going. Mon Calamari cruiser ready. Targeting.
So yep, corvettes very good versus fighters. They sometimes require a little bit of micromanagement, but you can put them on like you can put them on an attack move, and just kind of keep them cruising around the battlefield, and they'll do a pretty good job of shooting up fighters and stuff as they move through. I got ready to move forward, then I realized there's like more Star Destroyers down here. I'm like, good grief, so many Star Destroyers. Then I'm going to stop and target bombers. Got to get rid of the bombers before they deliver the proton torpedoes. But again, you can just see the Mon Cal cruisers just crushing their way on through the opposition here. Absolutely loving it. I love watching the space combat in this game. I like the ground combat, but the space combat's my favorite here. There used to be a decent-ish mod for Homeworld 2 where you could play as Star Wars stuff. I keep hoping someone's going to remake that for the Homeworld Remastered. It hasn't happened yet that I'm aware of, but man, that would be great if it did. Definitely be looking forward to that one. See, again, like I said, the Mon Cal cruiser is just absolutely trashing the opposition. The only damage I've taken has been from enemy bombers. You can see that the Star Destroyers struggled to bust the shields on the Mon Cal cruisers. They don't carry as many ion cannons, so a Star Destroyer is good at dishing out damage to an unshielded target. But they don't seem to be quite as quick as the Mon Cal cruisers as getting rid of shields. Like I said, I think it's because your typical Mon Cal cruisers carrying more ion cannons. I do know that some of the Star Destroyers do have ion cannons, and I know the Imperial Star Destroyers do. So it's not a unique weapon for the Rebels, but it seems like the Rebels get to make good use of it. And obviously a lot of fighters have like an ion blast too. I think Y-Wings do, I think TIE Defenders do. I don't know if any of the pirate fighters have it. Yeah. There were some interdictor cruisers there, which is why you were kind of seeing like the fog of war stay over it. That kind of red checkered stuff you see out there. And with the interdictor cruisers close by, you actually aren't able to warp reinforcements in that sphere of influence. And the interdictor can turn on its gravity well generator. It makes it stationary. It also makes it to where the enemy ships can't escape. So again, another one of the things I like about this game, it's not perfect, but they seem to kind of put some emphasis on making the ships on here have a role that's somewhat consistent with the lore. So like interdictor cruisers keeping enemy ships from entering hyperspace or pulling them out of hyperspace, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, there we go. Push the Empire back. They're not going to get away with anything here. It says they're retreating, but none of their ships that they have left actually have a hyperspace. So, killed a pretty big Imperial fleet there. That was pretty fortunate for me. Pretty happy about it.
Corruption.
Lucky they attacked me where I had a fleet, is basically what I'm getting at. So, and I'm moving up some reinforcements. I think I have another Mon Cal cruiser that was headed to them. I only have one kind of ground army right now, and it's pretty sucky. Like I said, I'm starting now to realize, like, hey, I need to build some reinforcing fighters for these fleets so that I can replenish the ranks of the ships that are getting killed in these battles. So you're going to see me take the opportunity to do that right now on both sides of kind of the pirate stronghold, because right now I'm still kind of split up in my planets that I hold. Almost said provinces, so used to Total War. I love Total War, who doesn't, right? And I need to keep these guys coming too. These Mon Cal frigates are fantastic. They are great capital killers and station killers. Fantastic at it. And they're pretty good at keeping fighters off their back too, because they have that like ring of explosives kind of special ability. It's a bit redonkulous, but hey, it's a good at what it does. But it kind of makes sense because those ships are so vulnerable to fighters. They have very weak shields, and they only have a few hard points. So Mon Cal frigates are already very vulnerable to fighters, so I guess that's probably why they gave them something to try and defend themselves with. Otherwise, it'd be way too easy to kill them. But yeah, and just like a capital, yeah, this is a good example again there too. Like as soon as I unpause it, boom, battle at Geonosis. They attacked me with like a random like defiler or whatever it is. I don't know if this is. I didn't know the AI could make this kind of mistake. Yeah, so you're going to see me get in here and potentially have to defend against like a one-ship Zan Consortium attack here. So it's very odd indeed.
We are detecting multiple ships.
Since I'm watching this in playback, I can probably skip this.
And repel the Imperials.
Yeah, I think I can skip it. How about that? There we go.
Removing corruption.
Yeah, I can just skip it on my broadcaster. Just scoot forward. There we go. I can't do this while I'm playing live, so don't get the indication that, yeah. Because, I mean, if you think about it, I recorded this just playing for fun one night, mainly because I wasn't, my wife needed to be in the room, like, on the phone, and I didn't want to be trying to record while she's trying to be on the phone. So I played it and recorded it so that at least I could focus and make sure I could salvage this campaign. Though normally, obviously, I don't want to play it and then commentate over it. Mainly because it's not really my style, but two, it means that I had to spend so many minutes playing this, and I'm going to have to spend so many minutes recording it. So it's a waste of time. So yes, don't get used to the fact that I just skipped that. It's not typically going to be the case. I know some of you would like me to edit videos where I cut out certain stuff, and I think I've tried to explain this before. But yeah, if I edit, I have to, and I'll explain it again, because why not? I use XSplit Broadcaster. It's nice in the sense that when I record a video, I use the broadcaster. I can put, it has different scenes. I can have my game in scene 1, and then scene 2, for instance, can be my intro video. So for instance, I can start on scene 2, show you my intro video, click on scene 1, and it fades over into scene 1, and then you can see my game. Basically, it lets me do some very light editing work while recording, and whenever I get done and I push the button to stop recording, the video is almost instantly ready in an MP4 format that can go straight to YouTube. Whereas if I was recording with like Fraps, which is kind of old school, but or something similar, I have to record the video, drop it into like say Sony Vegas or something else to edit it, and then rendering at 1080p 60 FPS, or even worse, rendering at like 1440 or whatever else it is, it gets rough. You're talking like, even with a nice i7 like I have, so I have the i7 4770K, it's not overclocked or anything, but I mean, it's still a beastly processor when it comes to crunching out a video and stuff like that. I know there's slightly better version like the 4970 or 4790, whatever it is, but I mean, even that, they do great, and it's great for it, but why spend all that time crunching out videos whenever I can just do this and it's easier, if that makes sense. So I'm very lucky to have extremely fast internet here at the house. That's part of what I use my monthly YouTube money on. I make sure that I have extremely fast internet so I can do live streams, I can upload videos faster, I can get good connections, hopefully. So yeah, with the very fast internet, it won't matter if a long video like this is 6 gigabytes. I can still upload it to YouTube in like 40 or 50 minutes. And sometimes faster. It just doesn't matter with the internet speed. So and the shorter videos upload really fast. You know, like if I put a like a short 10 or 15 minute video, even though it's 60 FPS, it'll be uploaded to YouTube in 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. It's very quick. YouTube is usually the constraint, not my internet. YouTube usually makes it go slower than I want. So I'm going to move over to Bothawui, good old Bothan homeworld here, and we're going to try and free the Bothans. Bothans, whatever. I think they call them Bothans in the movie. We'll see. Any case, yeah, that's hopefully a little bit of an explanation about why I record the way I do. It's all done to maximize content to you. Now, I've made a few heavily edited videos over my time on YouTube, and it is tedious.
Yes, Commander.
Like, for instance, the Wolf of Remus, Total War Blade Master, some of y'all know him. He makes some heavily edited videos. Hats off to him for doing it. And I know that other people have made some heavily edited videos too. THFE Productions, Oakley, High Def, he does it. Other people do it.
Choose your reinforcements.
For me, I just don't see the return on investment. And that's really what it comes down to. And some of you are like, Eric, really? I mean, you're just going to turn this into a business? I think about things in a business. Okay? So when I say that, what I mean is
Coming around.
time is precious for me, and I want to spend enough of it with my family so that if I'm recording and spending a whole bunch of time editing and all that other stuff, then I'm recording and editing and uploading and just kind of having to throw everything together into one.
Heading out.
And it's not good. I lose time with the family. And then I've noticed that I really don't get any more views on a heavily edited video than I get on a video of me just doing off-the-cuff commentary that hasn't been edited. So what that tells me is that you all are kind of just used to the style that I do, and you respond to it about the same as anything else. So what it tells me is don't spend a lot of time editing. Just spend time making you content. Yes, try to make it as professional and good and clear and crisp and entertaining as I can. But it seems like that's what I'm seeing as far as the way people respond to viewing the videos. Yeah, look at these five Moncal frigates just unloading a barrage of proton torpedoes like none other straight at the enemy hangar. And you can see, like I said, they're defending themselves somewhat versus the enemy fighters. But you can see that the level 5 space station, or no, it's not a level 5, sorry, it's like a level 2 or 3. Even it already, though, has crazy special weapons that will just blast hard points right off your ships. Again, Xan Consortium never OP, of course. But that's why I'm swarming them with Moncal frigates here. Yeah, you can see that just blasted a hard point right through the shields of Home 1. So again, of course, if it's a Xan Consortium weapon, it goes straight through shields to devastating effect. Because, like I said, apparently only criminals in the galaxy have access to the highest level of technology, and everybody else is just trying to catch up. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, my Moncal frigates made very short work of the enemy space station, which is expected. This is where they shine. And they're relatively quick. They can move around and be maneuverable. And like right now, you can see that I think I have them on like an attack move, and I'm just scooting them around. I think eventually I sit still here and just fire. But you can move them around to help avoid a little bit of damage and just to be more annoying with them, because they're fairly quick for a capital ship, but they're also fairly weak when it comes to their shielding. So Bothawui space falls to us, and I was thinking about just leaving straight away, but I was like, you know what, we should just gather up this army and go get the job done. So you're going to see me move them over there and do it, because I just want to keep the pressure on. Now remember, my viewer told me to just like leave a fighter in space and just, you know, go through and take it, and that makes a lot of sense. Go in, take out their space stations, just leave one unit garrisoned real quick just to hold them, and then to come sweeping through with an army. Again, that definitely makes sense, and I think it could be a viable tactic, but I decided to just, and look at that, I accidentally stuck them on top of each other. So I was trying to move them all over, and then I realized it's paused, and I'm like, okay, whatever, it's not a big deal. So I'll just resume the game and move Garmbellibus down there to do a ground assault. It'll all work out just fine. Now, all the bombers in the fleet with Akbar have been destroyed.
Construction complete.
Which is bad, because it means that I won't have access to bombing runs, though I will still have access to bombardments. Now, Rebel bombardments are a little different than Imperial bombardments. The Rebel orbital bombardments disable vehicles. It's kind of crappy, honestly. But the Imperial bombardments, on the other hand, destroy crap, and they're pretty handy. But a bombardment takes even longer to build up. That's down there by that red button. That's the orbital bombardment. Actually, I do have bombing runs here. I didn't think I would. Maybe it's a different one I'm thinking of. I go ahead and build a repair station, and at this point I haven't realized that I pretty much don't have any money, because I've spent it all removing corruption and building ships. So I realized that we have limited funds here in order to take Bothawui. You're gonna see me move up on the next point, and all these Bothans are on my side too. So I'm gonna use them to go try and capture this point as well. Yeah, you can see the Gargantuan, which is Bellibus's tank, rolling up here. I've got C-3PO and R2 in it because some of y'all said he can repair vehicles. And I find out, I think, in the next video that he really can't seem to repair the Gargantuan tank. Though I believe you as far as being able to repair other vehicles, but he doesn't seem to have any effect on the Gargantuan tank. If I'm getting it wrong, you all can try and show me or something. But yeah, I don't see it happen as I go on. But I was trying that suggestion that someone gave to me. So yes, I pay attention to your suggestions.
Let's get this thing moving.
And I try to incorporate them where possible. Right away. It doesn't always happen.
Moving out. Where am I needed? Acknowledged.
So yeah, you can see me just kind of messing around with the Gargantuan tank here. I see that there's turrets that can possibly shoot down my speeders, which is going to be a pain. I don't want to just throw away speeders, because like I said, I'm already having kind of some logistics problem as it is, trying to get, you know, troops and space forces forward. I do go ahead and build a bunch of turrets here just to kind of create a spot where if the Zan consortium starts running around with a bunch of units, they'll get shot as they come through here.
Construction complete.
So part of me kind of wants to just be able to push forward with Belibus's tank, but I was like, you know what, we'll sacrifice some of these Bothans. Mon Mothma liked going on like a real dramatic speech about all the Bothans that died to bring them information. So Air is making all these Bothans die to bring him visibility for a bombing run. So, any nerds in the audience like that? Many Bothans died to bring us this bombing run. How do you like that Return of the Jedi throwback? Oh man. Yeah, sometimes I even out-nerd myself, folks.
Awaiting orders.
Hope y'all enjoyed that. If you're still watching by this point. If you're still watching by this point, you're a true Air fan, and I very much appreciate your dedication. We got the OP Zan turret that just shoots straight through my Gargantuan shield and takes out 2 hard points almost instantly, which is very nice. But it, you know, whatever. And this is where I try to use R2 to repair, and it looks like it doesn't work. Well, no, I misclicked. But I think I bring him back out and try the repair. You can't repair broken hard points generally, and so I was like, well, maybe it's just because I don't have any broken hard points that it wouldn't work. So I think I tried again later.
Fall out, troops.
I wish you could repair busted hard points, but you sure can't. You can't do it in space, and you can't do it on land, not that I'm aware of. Not that there's many things on land that have hard points like that.
We've lost a build pad.
I'm going to use the big turbo laser on the Gargantuan to help destroy this droid foundry. Look at that droidica running away from me. It's pretty funny. They just got smoked by one of the turbo lasers. So yeah, I'm just going to keep the Gargantuan rolling around. Yeah, you're going to see me start to, you know, try and run over stuff from time to time. It's a pretty good time. The Gargantuan tank, like if you got into like a big ball of enemy vehicles or infantry, it could be very deadly, just rolling them over. But at the same time, there's plenty of units out there that can kill it. Look at them, I'm going to just run over all these infantry. Splatter spree, vehicular manslaughter, Sunday driver. Any Halo fans in the room? Oh man, you know that's a lot of fun whenever you find yourself. You know, I do think that I got a Sunday driver just once in Halo Reach. Got a very lucky. If y'all ever played Halo Reach, they had a vehicle called the Revenant, and my nickname for it was. I'm laughing at my own nerdy joke before I even say it. That's how nerdy I am, folks. I called it the Covenant Splatter Wagon because it's like a wider Ghost. And you know those fins out on the side just make it great for running people over. So I mean, it's too bad that, you know, like car salesmen don't sell vehicles that way in real life. Like, sir, check out this new BMW. It's got the extended side fins that are really good at running over the peasants on the side of the road that you need out of your way. Yeah, I can just see something like that. Sorry if any of you drive a BMW. In fact, there's probably Germans that are watching. Like, everything here is a BMW or a Mercedes. Yeah, I know. No offense. Obviously, just joking. In America, BMWs and Mercedes tend to represent the most expensive cars, because they're different. Whereas I'm sure in Germany, everything's a BMW or Mercedes, and, you know, like including the garbage truck and everything else. So, you know, anyway, just a quick explanation as to why. Who knows? Maybe where you all are at, like, whoa, Chevrolet, it's so nice. Well, no, I can't make that joke. Chevy's not nice in any country. Oh, take that, General Motors.
Over there.
I don't really have anything against General Motors. Whenever, just to explain it, whenever you grow up in the United States, especially in the southern United States, your family has to have some kind of allegiance to one of the 3 major American automakers. So it's either Chevy, Dodge, or Ford. And there's always this stupid argument about which one is the best. So I like throwing that in. And I grew up in a Dodge family, by the way, folks. And no, I don't drive a Dodge anymore. Not because I hate them. I just don't own a Dodge. I don't really worry about vehicle manufacturer affiliations. Whenever I'm buying a car, I just buy the car. I guess I'm a lot too. I'm not near emotional enough for that when it comes to my cars. Wow, I've covered a lot of topics. a lot of topics today on this thing. So as you can see, we're about to wrap this up. I'm just bringing in some more forces to help the Gargantuan roll over what's left of the Zan consortium.
Heading out, sir.
They're kind of all balled up out at a couple little defensive points. And I'm just going to bring in all these units. I got Puke down here with a bunch of rebel soldiers, and I'm going to have him kind of roll in from the south side of the map there while the Gargantuan rolls in from the west. And we'll just take out what's left of the consortium, and that'll be the end of this episode. I know I don't do these all the time. I hope you all enjoy it whenever I do the post commentary sometimes. It allows me to actually talk to you and to cover maybe more topics. Maybe you don't want to hear about any other topics. Maybe you just like me talking about the game, and that's fine, and the majority of my videos will stay that way, because like I said, I don't want to spend extra time recording my commentary over a video I've already recorded, because then it's just overkill. But, you know, it's definitely something that I enjoy doing from time to time, because I like being able to think about something besides just micromanaging my way through the game. Look at me trying to run these soldiers over. They're like, no, air! Yeah, I'm gonna get you. Air coming for you.
Awaiting your signal.
You wish you hadn't eaten that donut this morning, boy.
Let's get this thing moving.
Look at those guys. It didn't work. I, like, totally ran them over and they lived. What's up with that?
Right away.
They got like a special ability or something, like an OP Zan consortium ability that keeps them from getting smushed by tanks.
Engage.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
Let's get him.
Anyway, we're about to blast through all of them, and there's Luke and his soldiers coming up to finish people off too.
We've secured a build pad.
Anyway, I think we got the consortium finished. I do hope that you all enjoyed this episode. That's pretty much all that's left of it. I will be back on the next episode that I have already recorded, so there is a next episode. And as you can see, despite my original worry, I was able to salvage the Star Wars campaign, and it will continue. So I will see you back on the next Rebel Galactic Conquest. HeirofCarthage, signing off for now. See you later, folks.